to play the video. I was on mute the whole time. But all right, I'll start over again. All right. All right, I played the intro, but it was mute. So, it is what it is. But what is good, my people? We are live once again on the forecast. And yeah, I know I'm on here kind of last minute or whatever. I wasn't even gonna come on again. But I don't even know what's going on out here for real, for real. But yeah, I came on here and it is what it is. Like I said again, I always say it, but I don't know what's gonna happen. But I don't plan on being on here long. But I definitely had to come on here to shout out, you know, one of my childhood friends that passed away yesterday. One of my good friends, Toya. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because the way it's going down, everybody is going through something right now, and you know that's how quickly life goes. And I know I'm on here all the time, and like you got to understand, like I've been blessed. I haven't had this kind of thing happen to me, but now it's happening back to back to back to back. You know what I'm saying? And my homegirl Toya, she was young. You know what I'm saying? She was only in her early 30s, and she's already gone. And shout out to her daughter and all of that stuff. But, that's just whatever been going on ever since 2020, like people been dropping like flies. And it may be because I'm at a certain age that this stuff keep happening over and over and over. You know what I'm saying? But the thing that I want to talk about, and I'm gonna put the link in the chat if anybody do come on here. And I know I'm last minute, and I know they're not gonna send the notifications out or nothing like that. So if y'all want to come on here and talk about whatever you want to talk about, that's cool. But what I do want to talk about, and shout out to my friend Toya, shout out to my brother Marlo, you know what I'm saying? And I have to be all the way real about this because at some point, the street catches up with you. You know what I'm saying? The life that you lead, it catches up with you. And we all have an expiration date. But it's like, what are you going to do in between that time? How are you going to use that time up? But, and I had it on the opening clip, but I know you didn't hear it. A lot of times in our community, people get caught up in the drugs, the drug game, either to make money to get out of it, or they just get caught up in the drug game, like, just caught up in it. And I ain't even gonna lie, I ultimately blame the whole system, the whole society that we're caught up in, because all this time that we're looking for an escape, and all we do is cause damage and destruction on ourselves, right? Even just the part about making money and stuff like that, right? You are willing to sell out your own community. And, then that goes back to the question about the coon. Are they coons if you sell drugs into your own communities? I know it's a choice. People can take it if they want to. right? Nobody's forcing nobody to do nothing. But these are people that should be living into their older ages, and the street life that they live in is catching up with them. The decisions that they made is catching up with them. And then we find ourselves not being able to be prepared. You know, we leave our children in a situation where they're helpless. They have nobody. And then what do they have left? They can only turn to the streets. But how much time do we really have left? You know what I'm saying? Like, you never know what news you're going to hear tomorrow. So why wait to do the stuff that you got to do right now? It makes no sense. We get caught up in this whole thing, in this system, and then we look for an easy escape, you know, a simple high, and then we go around chasing that high. And the whole time, that was a move by our enemy to keep our environments in dysfunction, for us to be living in destruction and living in chaos. See, I don't judge the people who make those decisions, because I understand exactly what they're coming from. But we are in a war as a people, and we have to dig deeper to get out of this situation. And I'm telling you, I am so tired of casualties. We have had enough casualties as it is. And it takes a little white boy shooting other white people for us to get into it, for us to say, well, at least we can defend ourselves. Well, why don't you defend yourself anyway? Because if you don't, guess what's going to happen? You're going to meet your destruction. So who cares? Why not just face the consequences? Because the decisions that we make is going to catch up with us. But we don't think about the harm, the pain, and all this stuff that we leave the people that love us, that is there for us every day. And it's not to call it a selfish nature or nothing like that. But we don't think about generational changes. We want the instant gratification. We want the success right now. And that's definitely understandable. And we definitely deserve it, because that's the first thing that we have to start recognizing, that we deserve it, that we are great, that we are beautiful, that we are loved. If you love yourself, then you are loved. And you don't have to resort to all this crazy stuff out here to try to feel accepted, to try to get validation, because that's the thing that's leading to the generational curses time and time again. We feel like how we feel. And then we just want to numb the pain. Maybe we should start actually feeling that pain so we can start healing our communities. Because the way to make money is not off the backs of your brother, because that's not making money. Green pieces of paper with dead people on them that would have killed us is not wealth. Controlling your land is wealth. Controlling the natural resources is wealth. Building something for your community to have, that's wealth. And see, you know, like nobody I ever talked to, like, you know, died before, like, you know, that I mess with. And things could have been different with a whole different environment. They would have had a whole different life. And this is why I be on here talking even when there's nobody listening, or is thousands, hundreds, or whatever. Cause what if like just me saying yes to one thing that they asked me could have been the difference in their life? Now I can't take the accountability like that because people make their own decisions. But as a community, right? What if a decision I made could have saved somebody's life? We ask ourselves, how do we get out of this situation? Well, it's easy. When you see somebody getting choked out, you put your phone down and you go over there and you make sure the person is not getting choked out. But why do you do that? Because it's a sense of fear. But what is it you're afraid of? It can't be death because they're killing us wholesale. Because our family has poor health. We don't make the right decisions. We spend our whole life doing things that harm our bodies instead of helping it. So what is it that you really afraid of? You afraid of the freedom? Because we don't have no time left, right? We ran out of time hundreds of years ago, but we're still making the same decisions, the same mistakes. Now, what if those people who committed crimes against our community was taught who they were and they turned that energy into upliftment of our people or protection for our people? Because are you going to be direct about it? Are you going to be real about it or not? That's the question that we got to start asking ourselves. What is it that we really afraid of? And the drugs and all of that stuff really decimated our communities. And, two of my friends, what I'm saying, gone because of heart problems. Could all of this stuff have been avoided if we was smart enough to be or passionate enough or loved ourselves enough just to ask a simple question, just to go to the doctor, just to learn who we are and to value who we are and say, I'm not going to do something to destroy my temple. Yes, accidents happen every day. But why help a system designed to destroy us? Why help them destroying our own cells, destroying our own bodies, destroying our own minds, and destroying our brothers and sisters? Because you talk about a sellout, people will do that for cash, decimate a whole family just to make some money. But you see who they would do that to, right? The most quote unquote gangster of the gangster. They not gonna try the enemy. So how gangster is that? We gotta develop honor in our communities. We gotta start healing that trauma that we have in our lives. Start thinking about your children. And if you don't have no children, think about your future children. We gotta start having this respect, this level of respect for each other. And most importantly, we gotta start be willing to be there for each other. Stop judging each other. It's most of the time, like, our lives are so hard and we only get one life to live. Understand that. And we are missing the knowledge that we can make our lives whatever we want to make them. And for whatever reason, we don't decide to make our own destiny. Because the truth is, we all know what it takes. We all know what you have to do. Because you would tell your child if they're getting bullied, what advice would you give them? Just give that advice to yourself. But you won't try a certain other person. You'll even hurt yourself before you try them. And see, I'm doing these shows way too much. I'm saying way too many people, way too many names for way too dumb of a reason. I don't know what it's gonna take to get that militant mindset, that militant energy back. I don't know what it's gonna take. But you see people around you going down left and right. You have, or you see this scarcity thing where jobs, they're threatening your jobs. They're raising the prices on everything, and still that's not enough. They put a rope around your neck and hung you from a tree. Still, that's not enough. They broadcast your murder on broad TV, and still, that's not enough. Your mom got to take insulin shots, but that's not enough. And you telling me that two white boys getting shot, that's enough for you? We really don't have no time left. The degeneracy, and I'll be careful how I use that word. But when it starts hitting home, then that's a whole nother ball game. Because right now, all of the stuff that's happening in the world is going to come to your doorstep. The death, the destruction, all of that stuff is coming to your doorstep closer and closer and closer and closer. And what do you have? You don't have nothing to protect yourself, to protect your children. Because if everything goes offline right now at 12 o'clock p.m. or 12 o'clock a.m., right? Thanksgiving Day, that's the day that they set. How you gonna eat and on Friday? What you gonna do next weekend to survive? If somebody is breaking into your house right now, can you protect your family? See, we don't understand how real it could get. We don't understand how real it can get in the blink of an eye. Because right, 1 minute you're minding your own business, the next thing you know, life is completely different. And especially with this whole fentanyl stuff, that's stuff that's out here. I mean, and I'm not even talking about a disease, but they're putting stuff in our food that will kill us. Literally. Hey, how you doing, Raw? I'm just coming on the vent a little bit. I put I'm not gonna be on here long unless somebody come on here. But I came on here to shout out because I'm saying this too much. A good friend of mine, passed away yesterday at the age of like 34. You know what I'm saying? Has a daughter, has a family. And I'm tired of the decisions that we're making as a community, as a people. I'm tired of us still not recognizing who our enemy is. I'm tired of us having casualty after casualty. And we having stupid debates, stupid arguments all the time. You know the answer. I know the answer. Right? You want to debate whether, oh, I'm not black, I'm not African, I'm not this, I'm not. Well, forget all that. Let's just make up a new name right now. So we don't have to debate about that. And then we can go back to where we live after we destroy the system. Because I'm not going to act like the system doesn't have a place in what's going on. I'm not going to act like the society doesn't play a role in how people develop, the decisions that they make, the education that they get. I'm not going to act like, you know what I'm saying, that's what happened. What's going on, Bakari? And we got to stop, right? Because we rather face our own death than to face our enemy. What kind of sickness is that? Yeah, thank you, Ra. I appreciate that. And like I was saying before, this is the first person, who I talked to like that, that has, died. And I know it could be me, but I also know that this right now is a time of, let's say, destruction for everybody. And I say it all the time. I'd rather for the whole world to be destroyed than to stay up in this situation. What's up, Erica? But not too many of us have that mindset of we rather it all be over than to get my freedom, because we lost everything already, man. We don't have nothing. And what's up, Bill Gates? Yeah, I was on here for like 20 minutes before y'all came on here. You know, and thank y'all for joining. But like I was just saying, I'm on here just to shout out my homegirl. And if y'all want to come on here, the link is in the chat if you want to come on here and talk about whatever you want to talk about. But that's what I'm saying. It's the same trivial conversation when people are literally out here dying. Like, this is the truth. This is the reality of what's going on. People are starving, right? People are about to lose their jobs. And we still out here joking and playing around and hoping and looking and seeing what our enemy is going to do, paying attention to other stuff that ain't got nothing to do with us, but won't even speak on the real issues in our community to solve them for real. Yeah, there are problems in every aspect of it. And yeah, this system exposed a whole lot of stuff. But a lot of this stuff could be avoided with number one, self-love, but love that's put back into the community, as far as education, teaching you to love yourself, because you're going to make a completely different decision when you doing it out of self-love than when you do it out of hate. You know what I'm saying? Self-hatred. And we got a mentality like our struggle isn't good enough unless we include somebody else, unless we uplift somebody else, because we don't think that we're good enough on our own. And that's a common theme that keep running through. And now more generational curses is passed down. All right, that's what's up, Bakari. Yeah, because like I said, I ain't gonna be on here long. And I already, said a lot. I know y'all just coming in. And yeah, I talk about white supremacy and stuff. And that's to learn our enemy and to study their weaknesses, study their strengths, look at our weaknesses and stuff like that. But we got to start waking up to reality for real. There is nothing that can change death. You can't bring somebody back once they're gone. So if you need two white boys to get killed to feel like, oh, now I can defend myself, that's already starting off from a lost position. What's up, Blue? Come on. I mean, I ain't got much to say, you know. I just wanted to definitely shout her out. So I'm not gonna act like, you know, I didn't do like a bunch of hot stuff when I was young, you know, make stupid decisions and stuff like that. Yo, what's going on, Bakari? Yo, Bakari.
Peace, God. What's going on? Peace to the chat. Everybody, what's going on? What's going on? Yeah, you can't hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
Yeah, what's going on? Everybody, what's going on?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I was just on here, you know, shouting out my peoples and stuff like that, you know,
Yeah.
and you know, just the self destruction that's in our community, and then you know, like I called it, I guess, how much time do we got left? Because everything can be different tomorrow, you know, and your life can be changed for like ever, you know what I'm saying? Like, but we still not prepared, like we was talking about earlier, like, and you be saying on your show all the time, we still not even prepared for like just the simple things that we know is gonna happen. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? We ain't trying to get prepared. I hate to say it like that, but the people that call themselves Black America, man, we almost doomed in this country, and that's the truth. And we sit here and we watch it, cause like it's something you just said. All of a sudden now, you see people want to go out to protest with guns, and people want to tell me about it. How long I've been saying that? I went out with mine. The only one I went to. I really don't do protests and marching. Excuse me. But it take a white man to kill a white. Take it out and put it in there. I'm sorry. It take a white man. It take a white boy to kill two white boys and shoot another one to make black people say we need to carry guns. Now to me that sounds crazy because they've been killing black folks. But watch this. So since it took white folks fighting white folks to make black people want to arm up, who is black people trying to protect? Who are they trying to protect?
Yeah,
Because they didn't see the need to do that for themselves.
right.
I was called crazy. I was called radical. I was told I have a death wish. But now that two white people fought each other, one white person whooped three and got off, all of a sudden now there's a need to carry weapons. Who fault is that? How often? How long do we have to go through this? Did any of y'all hear the speech after Ahmaud Arbery today? Did any of y'all hear that after the verdict?
Right, his dad's speech, right?
His dad, what's his Al Sharpton. Did y'all hear it?
Nah. Well,
Can I
let me
play it right quick if you don't
go ahead.
mind?
Yeah, play it.
Okay, let me see if I can find it right quick. Okay. Okay, let's listen to Al Sharpton's speech. I don't want to listen to the whole thing. And tell me what y'all think of this. I'm gonna just listen to like it's gonna be like 6 minutes long. Hold up. Can you, and a little bit to where can you hear it?
Yeah.
You can hear it? Can y'all hear it? Folks are coming out here right now, maybe. I'm gonna just listen in for just a second. Summer last year with the protest. It looks like there might be some family. First, listen to the celebration. Coming out here right now. Trying to get a little bit of a better look up there. I'm a little bit farther behind. And there you have it. There you have Reverend Al Sharpton, Lee Merritt. You have Wanda Cooper Jones.
That's black people cheering.
You have Marcus Arbery. Yes. Walking out here, as you just saw, holding hands. Of course, people are cheering right now.
They seem happy. People seem happy to see them. They may be making their way over to that podium here in just a second to speak to everyone that's been out here waiting for them to come out.
Let us say, first and foremost, we're going to start by thanking God for shining on us. Let us thank these lawyers. Let us thank the prosecutors. Let us thank the activists that y'all mob that marched and stood up. Let us thank all of the people that believed. And let us, more than anything, thank the mother and father of Ahmaud. They lost a son. But their son will go down in history as one that proved that if you hold on, that justice can come. This mother would tell me, Reverend, we're going to win.
Now, before I let this continue, that don't sound like it's nothing to be bragging on. You lost a son, but he gonna go down in history. Let's continue.
Yes. When I had doubt, she kept praying. This father said, we got to get some justice for my son. And let the word go forth all over the world that a jury of 11 whites and 1 black in the deep south stood up in the courtroom and said that black lives do matter. Let it be clear that almost 10 years after Trayvon, God used Wanda and Marcus's son to prove that if we kept marching and kept fighting, we would.
Now hold on. Did you hear that shit? I don't mean to be cussing on your panel. Did you hear that?
It don't matter. I get blocked for a guy talking about Asian people. So,
but did you hear what he just said?
Yeah, he said a lot of stuff that was like shaky, you know.
But did you hear what he? God, almost 10 years later, after Trayvon, God used Ahmaud. Let's go back right
quick. But hold on.
We got a lot of more.
Hold on, Bakari, because he said, "Thank God, 11 white people on the jury found, came up with that conclusion."
You want me to put the cornbread in a pan and mush it up?
No, you just put it in there.
Yeah.
And said that black lives do matter. Let it be clear that almost 10 years after Trayvon, God used Wanda and Marcus's son to prove that if we kept marching and kept fighting, we would make you hear us. We got a lot more battles to fight, but this was an important battle today. This was proving that our children know their value, and that's why those people that march, I'm talking about the people here, that was here when nobody else was here. They stood up. Brunswick. Brunswick, Georgia will go down in history as the place that criminal justice took a different turn. Let us pray. Dear God, we come thanking you for your mercy. Thanking you for giving us a prosecutor's team that when it looked to us like they stacked the jury, that you still found a way to open up the minds of people to listen to the evidence and weigh it based on facts, not based on skin color. That you gave strength to this mother and you gave strength to this father to not give up on you. Even when many of us doubted, even when many of us said it's not going to happen, You came in the state of Georgia, a state known for segregation, a state known for Jim Crow, and you turned it around. You took a young unarmed boy that they thought was worthless, and you put his name in history today.
Yo, stop, bro.
Now,
He said,
decades from now.
if you just pray that man got killed, bro.
Okay, let's hear it again. I know people thought I was clowning when Eric, I know you said it ain't funny, but I got to look, I know what you mean. It's embarrassing. That's why I'm laughing. I'm gonna let you hear it again.
Unarmed boy that they thought was worth segregation, a state known for Jim Crow, and you turned it around. You took a young unarmed boy that they thought was worthless, and you put his name in history today. Years from now, decades from now, they'll be talking about a boy named Ahmaud Arbery that taught this country what justice looks like. As we go forth, let us go forth in the victory you've given us. Thank everyone in Brunswick that marched, that stood out in front of this courthouse, that was called the lynch mob, but they kept on marching. And let us know that all whites are not racist, and all blacks are not worthless, that we're all your children, and we will.
Okay. Before we continue, we got to hear his dad. Is that okay? Can we play his dad?
Yeah. But first, before you play it, like, which God is he praying to?
The same one them people pray to.
Damn. And he said, because at the end he was like, though it was the last thing he said again.
All white people ain't racist.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the whole thing I got out of it is like he think that some white people is racist and some black people is worthless, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it ain't funny. Lord. Let me see if I can find it.
Damn, that man straight prayed that he died. Like, what the world?
Oh, wait till you hear his daddy, man. Okay, y'all ready for this? Y'all ready? Okay, this is daddy.
All right. Number one, I want to give all glory to God.
Wait a minute. This is daddy. Okay, he started at number one. I want y'all to hear.
Is this a Christian God or what? Which God is this?
I don't know, man, but they say he sound like he been living in a barn for the last 44 years. They listen to that stuff he say, man. Goodness.
Number one, I want to give all glory to God. Because that's who made all this possible.
God damn.
Number two, I want to thank his mama. I want to thank my sisters and brothers. I want to thank my children for being strong through this raw time. Because I know it was hard what they had to deal with. And number two, I want to thank all y'all people, all the support y'all gave us. Because one of us did this. You know, one side did this. That's right. God put us all together to make this happen. There ain't no one side. That's what I tell you. God don't work one sided. God work two sided. God don't put you.
Wait, hold on. Because I'm actually a little surprised.
Oh, look, Erica, I'm sorry. So y'all please forgive me. Oh, but I want y'all to hear how God works, okay?
Wait, hold on, because I'm a little surprised he didn't say, thank God those white dudes jumped out on with a gun, you know what I'm saying? Like, he said, thank you, every other part of it, you know what I'm saying?
Listen, because I want y'all to know how God works now, the good Christian.
God put us all together to make this happen. There ain't no one side. That's what I tell you. God don't work one sided. God work two sided. God don't put you here, I'm going to put you there. Amen. So y'all pull together and work this thing.
Oh, he did say that.
That's what it's all about. Because if one side wouldn't work, it wouldn't have happened. That's right. You had people working when you weren't working. That's right. Come on. When you weren't working, you had people out here working, marching, going in these offices. Yeah. We conquered that lynch mob. We got that lynch mob. This history today, letting you know that black kid life don't matter. That's right. For real, all life matter. All life. Yes. Not just black children. We don't want to see nobody go through this. Amen. I don't want to see no daddy watch their kid get lynched and shot down like that. That's right, Mom. So it's all our problem. It's all our problem. Yeah. So hey, let's keep fighting. Amen. Let's keep doing it and making this place a better place for all human beings. Amen. All human beings. Amen. Everybody. Amen. Love everybody. Love everybody. All human beings need to be treated equally. We finna conquer this lynching. Today is a good day. I want to hear from you right now. You want to hear from the family of a...
That dude say today is a good day. See, I'm gonna let y'all know right now. I learned something though. Before I let you go in forecast, I'm gonna let you know I learned something. See, God don't work one-sided. God ain't one-sided. God two-sided. See, I'm gonna put one right here and put one right there. Then y'all get together in the middle and work this out.
But one of the sizes killed his son though. Like he said, thank God. Like he did say it. Like what the?
Oh man, I'm telling you, something wrong with us, man. And I know Erica, how the next time we talk, she probably gonna have some choice words for me for laughing. But I can't hold it. I'm sorry. I apologize. If I offended anyone, I didn't mean to offend you. But we still walking around like in 1934.
They ain't do that in 1934. They were shooting back in 1934.
Okay, 1964.
I don't know. It might just be 19. It might be 2014 thing right there. I don't know.
Because see, what we had to stop doing, we got to stop praying to the one side God. Right? We praying to the one. We got to start praying to the two-sided God. So God can put some of us over here and put some there over there. You see what I'm saying? Because He's two-sided. All life matter. You can't even sit up there. You can't stand and say your child, like your son, and them folks need to be dead. You got to say all life matter. I don't want to see nobody go through this here. Why don't you want to see them people go through that? Who just put you through? Why? But as long as we know all life matter, all life does matter. Go ahead, forecast. What you think about this your show, man? So I'm gonna let you go ahead and tell me what you think about the prayer in the Father's speech.
Man, this was the worst day, and well, it was just another worst day. You know what I'm saying? All these days is the worst days. First of all, stop clapping until this dude served the last day. First of all, what sentence is he getting before we start celebrating? That's number one. And then number two, if it's the death penalty, let's not celebrate until he get the final, you know what I'm saying, the last of the electricity go through his body, or he served the last day of the, you know what I'm saying, like the however long he gets in prison. That's first and foremost before we start clapping. But then what is this God that we are praying to that is obviously answering somebody else's prayers? You know what I'm saying? So there's a whole lot of stuff. And then with the whole Al Sharpton thing, and it's funny, right? Because like during the election here in Virginia, you know what I'm saying, my mom, Al Sharpton came here, and my mom wanted me to go ask him some questions. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely a question right there. But, you know, this is a whole sick mentality that we have. And like, first of all, this young brother is dead. We got to stop taking casualties. And I know his parents and all that stuff, but then you had the people and forgiving Dylan Roof, and the dude was like, "Yeah, I did it on purpose. I'm not crazy. This is just what I do." You know what I'm saying? I forgive you. He asked you for your forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't going to charge the dude in the first place in this case. Like, how is this a victory? And then we got to say all lives matter because Obviously, I don't know if they may be getting a check by the way they sound, probably, but they willing to sacrifice their own son for like a paycheck. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was watching this thing. They was talking about Jewish people though. They was like, when they had you when we was putting your kids in ovens and not one of you had the courage to stand up and say something. That's when we knew we had you. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, they been okay, Bukhari, you could just talk when you come back, you know what I'm saying? But we sitting here tap dancing and this young brother Ahmaud Arbery is not coming back. MG2 like kind of like made it hit home earlier because it's ironic how all this news is coming to me at the same time, and then he start talking about like when death is death is final. There's no coming back for final. That's it. And we sitting out here celebrating and clapping before the dude even gets sentenced, right? And the first step would be to make sure this young brother does not end up in that situation in the first place. To make sure that when we go out, we better be armed. We better be trained in how to use those guns because we live in a society that is designed to have this kind of thing. And then we got to always say, well, not all white people is bad when one black person gets a guilty verdict. We got to stop this whole apologetic stuff, man. You see, like, hold on. But yeah, that's why I wasn't even, with the Ahmaud Arbery case, I wasn't even talking about that a lot either, you know what I'm saying? But like that's good information that we definitely needed to hear from Bakari, you know. We gotta address this God that we are praying to, because if a God can, crush your enemies, well, if your God blesses your enemies and crushes you, then you got to start questioning about that God that you pray to. Because the only thing that we learn is to turn the other cheek. We learn forgiveness for everybody but ourselves, of course, but forgiveness for our killers, our murderers, our rapists. But even the doctrine that you're following doesn't tell you to do that. We are the world's best Christians. We are the world's best Muslims. We are the world's best everything but ourselves, who we supposed to be. Yeah, it's a sickness. It's something that we're trying to run away from our identity, and we'll even sacrifice our children. They literally prayed that this young brother, thanking God that this young brother got shot so that they can have this verdict where they don't even know the sentence going to be yet. And you think that's something that's good? Of course, they're going to put Al Sharpton in a position to be heard because he's pushing their agenda. He's saying the stuff that they want him to say. He's worried about his check and not freedom, because they can control you with their money. Because we think, oh, if I get enough money, I'll be free. Well, you see a whole bunch of rich black people sitting there apologizing. And then we wonder how people like Al Sharpton get in the position they're in. And then you have so many black people that aren't aware of their surroundings, of the situation. And they think this dude, Al Sharpton, they're going to believe him, especially a certain generation of black people, But, a person on the last show, was talking about why aren't these white Christians doing something? Because they benefit from it just like every other white person. The real question is, why aren't we doing something? Because we not benefiting from it at all. And yeah, I don't know if you back, Bakari, but you can talk whenever you come back. But They say, why don't these people do this and do that and pay back to the black community as a form of reparations? But if we cared about ourselves, why won't we put in on our community as a form of reparations? This young brother is shot and killed, and we sitting there clapping and celebrating. But that's how much destruction has been in our community. That's how many losses that we've taken, that even something as small as this can be seen as a victory. See, and that's where we start slipping into this whole symbolism versus tangible thing. Because symbolisms, and they're trying to be funny because they'll give us symbolisms like Juneteenth, and then they'll turn around and pass laws for Asian people. They'll turn around and fund Arabs coming over here. They'll turn around and pay the Jewish reparations. They'll turn around and pay illegal immigrants reparations. Yeah, come on, Blue. Because we get caught up with the symbolism. We're happy that Obama is the president. I don't really care if he passes a law that'll benefit me, but I'm happy he's the president. And I'm going to ignore the fact that this young brother was shot and killed. But I'm happy for the verdict. No, we're not happy. We're tired of this. And if, like they used to say, because my brother Bakari, like, yo, you think it's 1930? They used to say, if one of them try to take you out, you take them out. Right? You take one of them or as many as you can with you if you got to go out. Now we say, no justice, no peace.
I'm back now. Whenever I'm just letting you know I'm back.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, my brother. Jump in.
No justice, no peace. Fuck the crooked police. We be chanting with, I ain't gonna lie, we be rhyming and chanting. And
Yeah,
when
we
I'm
good at
talking
that
right
stuff.
now,
I say, yeah, we good at that.
I might offend some people, don't mean to, but kind of mean to, and it's okay. But in all honesty, we have to talk about this type of stuff. His son is dead, but he's going down in history. Like I said earlier on the MG2 show, them white folks gonna go to prison. Don't know how long, but for however long they live in there, they can still talk to their wife, their children, their mama. They can still talk on their phone. They can still come visit them sometime, right? But y'all can't ever see y'all son again. And y'all thanking God. They thanking God for what has happened. And you always want to put the charlatan, Al Sharpton. I'm looking for a video now. I got some stuff I want to play about him. And it's true too. But we got to get past this. This is a we. I know I'm not part of those black people, right? I know I don't think like those black people, right? That's all I'm saying. I don't think like them. But it's still a we problem because they're black. And we got to get our people past. We have to get our people past this. We got to make sure our youth don't travel that road where we think it's honor and dignity and die. Remember, I'm gonna show y'all something now. What they just said about him. He going down in history, right? And that's what they just said.
Yeah, he went down
Now
in
go
history
back
as
to
a black
George
man.
Floyd. Now go back to George Floyd. What did they have George Floyd's little daughter saying on TV? My daddy changed the world. Teaching her that at 3, 4, 5 years old. 7 years old the little girl was.
And yo, the crazy thing, Bakari, do you know why Emmett Till mom was like, yeah, I had to ask open casket because I wanted to change the world.
And has the world changed yet? Is it gonna change? See, the reason it ain't gonna change, because we're trying to change other people, but we the ones that need to change. Ain't nothing wrong with them. That's what I'm gonna tell everybody right now. Ain't nothing wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with them. We can call them psychopaths, sociopath, any kind of path. You can call them racist, bigot. There's nothing wrong with them. Look in the mirror and you'll see the people where there's something wrong with. Because obviously what they do is what they do. You know why they don't do it to other folks? Because other folks don't let them. Ain't nothing wrong with them. Something wrong with us. Something is wrong. Because see, God ain't one-sided. He two-sided. He going to put some over here, then put some over there. Well, we thank you. 10 years after Trayvon, you use Marvin and Mary, I don't know their parents' name, son, boy, Ahmed, to change the course of the justice. What the hell you praying? That boy, you happy that young man dead. I ain't gonna call him no boy. Because if he was 25 years old, he wasn't no boy. He was a grown damn man, a young man. That's a sickness, mental sickness. And we got to, in forecast, I know when it comes to this, you're a little different than me. But we got to stop making excuses for these folks. They got to go. They are in the way of progress. So then I heard you talk about reparations. We can give ourselves reparations right now. I gave a plan for Team Black and people that want to be a part of that. We can start that. We can give that. Then Blue gave a plan. We can give that to ourselves now. But we don't appreciate it. We won't appreciate it unless white folk give it to us. Mental sickness. Because I'm going to say it again. There's nothing wrong with them. They ain't the problem. We the problem. There's nothing wrong with them. Something is wrong with us. Got to be. Go ahead, Blue. How you doing, Queen?
Yeah, what's up, Blue? And yeah, Bakari, I wanna after Blue girl, I'm a just to spice it up. I wanna challenge what you said a little bit, just to spice it up. But after Blue girl.
Yes, yes. What's up, bros?
What's
How
up,
y'all
Blue?
doing? Yeah, it's late, but we off next couple days, so it's like let's take our time and share some valuable vibes with people because everybody is going through something right now. Um, whether it be a transition, a great transition, or a bad transition. But it is a transition, you know what I mean? It's a part of your journey. And I want to touch on a couple of things, but just to kind of stay on topic of what y'all was talking about. Um, and what made me want to come on was to actually bring up the Young Dolph situation, the rapper that got murdered. Just another killing that we need to really recognize because it makes absolutely no sense why, we still got, people that live in the same area and because one live on a different side of town, y'all beefing, you know. Y'all fighting with each other when y'all really supposed to be teaming up with one another. Like we're not supposed to be against each other as a race. You know, you got to kind of look at that. Like, be it's a more so because I think because it's looked at as being you because you don't retaliate, you might be looked at as not as strong. I don't want to use the profanity words I'm thinking about, but you just not you looked at as maybe weak, scared, you know, because you didn't retaliate. But when you mentally grow, you know, when you mentally reach certain stages in your life, you actually think first. You know what I mean? A lot of the times we think based off emotion, that first feeling that you get, that gets you super angry, and you take that and run with it, but that's you playing off your emotion and your subconscious. That means you're not thinking for yourself. And that's a part of, one of their things to keep us under control is to make us think um, based on, the influence or the, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, they don't want you to sit there and see something, see a marketing ad and actually process, do I really need that? How is that going to benefit me, to actually determine um, what that's going to do for you? You know what I mean? And uh, when you process things on your own, it's actually like a survival um, mechanism that your body automatically goes to when you're thinking for yourself. That is, if you just reacting off of, oh, I see this commercial, it's the holiday season, you don't need it, I'm just gonna get it because it's on sale, type of thing. That's impulsive thinking and acting. That's not you actually considering what's going on to process it. So I just think if we take the time, even if something makes you extremely upset, let it understand that it did hurt you and that's why you're upset. you know and if anything, you weigh your options out and you figure out the best option at that point, not what makes you you know feel like you got to prove something. You actually have to process it for yourself, not what everybody else gonna think and look at shit as. It's about having that mental growth. We have to start acting like adults. you know um, the reason why things are constantly delayed generation and into nowadays is we're mentally not adults. There are kids raising kids. you know um, we have to take a moment to understand what's happening. Having unprotected sex, when you're not sure, like, and this is why I say it goes back to kids raising kids, because of all these things your parents are supposed to be having conversations with you about and teaching you about. And if that was happening, early on, then as you grow, you are able to make better decisions for yourself. So it really is going to start with helping the kids grow, because they are the future. And if we can instill the right things in them, it will be changed. I know you mentioned Bakari, and I think maybe you're just talking because I know we on the same page. But you was like, things ain't never gonna change. I know it be seeming like that. It really does. Like, it we make it so hard on each other, where it does feel like, oh my god, this is not going to change. And that's why a lot of people kind of stay to themselves. And as long as them and their uh, household is good, then they're not going outside of that. They don't care to put the efforts into it because they done been burnt so many times in different relationships with coworkers, friends, family members, excuse me, relationships. And now, they're just like, fuck it, fuck them. That's the type of state that a lot of people are in, that are stable, in their life. And they're not able to give back, whether it's literally, being an ear, being a shoulder to lean on. They're not wanting to put that energy in because they've had so many bad experiences. And that goes to us respecting each other, just period. Like, what is all the lies for? I don't understand. You can't hate yourself that much to have to lie about almost everything. You know, we want everybody to like us and like our photos and stuff, but do you really like everybody? When you walk out and go in the streets, and you look around, do you really like all them people? Because that's what's online. I don't know how it's more than what it looks like in the real world online, but that's what's online. When you walk out the house and look around, that's what is online, just in different places. You know, so respect and self love is going to be a big part, a key player in us, just being better people, to be able to grow with one another. And the Young Dolph situation really, really just blew me because he was very talented. And, he just came in and just was a charismatic, just handsome king. When I seen him, I just seen, greatness before I even like listened to him. Anyways, and I don't know if y'all know a little bit of the story on it, but supposedly Yo Gotti, y'all know who Yo Gotti? He also is from Memphis, and that's where Young Dolph stayed. But supposedly, the Young Dolph had sex with Yo Gotti's baby mother, and he got upset. So let's say something like that happened in real life, right? So just to give an example how that should have been played out, instead of him feeling like, oh, it ain't any. Young Dolph did what any other man probably would have done, um, but how that should have been handled, how Yo Gotti should have handled it, was not with retaliation, because again, Young Dolph is only doing what any other man in this world would have done, you know. So how you gonna be mad? It's because it's him. You know what I mean? You got a problem with him. You should have a conversation with your baby mother. You know what I mean? Because who is the devil in that picture? You know what I mean? She playing two people. You know, and it takes two to tango. It's not like he raped her. So you mad at this man because your baby mother willingly opens her legs for what? I don't know. Knowing that y'all probably already beefing. You know what I mean? Outside of that, so he should have, pulled his baby mother to the side, had a conversation. They should already know what type of terms they on. You know what I mean? So if she did something like that, they must not be together. So he really, to me, doesn't look too great in this picture. That's a sign of insecurity, weakness, um, you know, uh, living up to other people's standards, worried about what people think about you. Like, that's what I seen in that, by him retaliating in that way to kill a brother of his. You know what I mean? When they should be tag teaming, running Memphis. Like, how? Why? Like, and this story plays too many times, decade over decade. Like, do we ever stop and think about this? And honestly, when I heard that killing, I feel like I'm living in a written book. I feel like this shit is not even they they can't even, it doesn't seem like it's just things are naturally happening. It feels like, some things are definitely planned. And that's when it hit me for real, when I'm like, well, damn, are we living in something that's already been written, like, for real? um so it's just time to wake up. you know it is time. We don't know how much time we have, you know here on this earth. So many things are happening around you. Take the time to practice and put down the phone, so that way you can start actually doing something you need to do or using your brain to think, you know. And I think writing things down is a great way to get it out of your head, you know. Any and also a suggestion, like anything, if you ever like stressing over something, um, don't hold it in, because holding it in, you know, it can, depending on what it is, it can eat you up. It can do anything and everything negative for you. So when you talk it and let it out, that's a part of, you know, getting over, getting through something to help you naturally and mentally move forward. You have to get that out. So I just do want to point that out if anybody's kind of, you know, constantly debating about something. Um, that helps. But yeah, it was upsetting to hear about him being killed. And I just wanted to point that out because that's a good example of how, because that's an everyday thing that happens, you know. Um, so many people are just full of temptation and just let it get the best of them. Um, but that's an average situation, you know. Somebody messing with somebody, baby mother, baby father, that person getting upset, they want to fight, want to kill. The proper way to really kind of handle that is to step to who you was dealing with first, you know, in a you know, wanting to understand type of manner, you know, because apparently you had the wrong idea or wrong impression about what was going on, and that's why it you know, damaged you that much. But I'm gonna pass the mic for now.
All right, yeah, I appreciate that, Blue. And I say this, like, I can't say like what he did or didn't, but like if the story is true, like how gangster is we? You know what I'm saying? Because George Zimmerman ain't have nobody shoot up his house and kill somebody. So, if we really that gangster, we'll see, But so just to wrap it up, and Bakari and Blue, you can jump in, and Bakari, you can say something to what Blue was saying, but y'all can both jump in at any time. But
Let me
just
say
to
this
have,
right quick. Well, they
but,
did say his body. They did say Yo Gotti bodyguard, he's been arrested because his fingerprint was on the car that was supposed to have been the getaway car.
I mean, amazing. I don't know. You know, this is all hearsay, so I can't say it's completely true, but it's just an example also that, you know, I wanted to point out because I know a lot of the time somebody always fighting or, you know, going back and forth about who did it to who, baby mother, baby father, and
Yeah.
it's just
You
like,
know something, right? When she talked about him and called him a king, right? You know what he was. I'm gonna show you something, right? And
yeah,
I saw this video. This guy was talking. Whenever they showed Young Dolph, they showed him with all the jewelry, and they showed him looking like I guess,
yeah,
what a thug would be considered a thug, right?
okay,
But they never showed the pictures. Now that he dead, all of a sudden, the pictures of him and his wife and his kids in the way and how close he was with his family. All of a sudden now those pictures come out. But before,
mhm,
you
mhm.
never see those pictures.
This is
They
true.
wanted us to see him, or they wanted the people that watch him, because I really didn't know who he was in all honesty. My oldest son, well, my kids know, but my oldest son really listened to him. Uh, but they wanted us to see him one way. Now all of a sudden you see how he was with him, his wife, and their two kids, and the business that he set up for her and what she run and all that. But before they just wanted to show he this big gangster. That's what the media wanted to show.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Forecast, you said you had something you want. Oh yeah, and let me say this, Blue.
yeah,
When I said things ain't gonna change, what I was saying is it ain't gonna change as long as we're trying to change other people. We're gonna have to
Oh
change
yeah.
ourselves. Is what I meant.
Okay, okay. Excuse me then.
yeah. Cause like, 'cause that was what I was gonna say, Bakari. Cause like, just to have a little bit of fun before we get off of here. And again, like, yo, shout out to my sister Toya, whatever, RP. But yeah, cause I was gonna say, like, you was like, I don't think things are gonna change, and you corrected it and all, but still, um, like I would say I disagree with that. Like things will change. I get what you're saying about we have to change our mentality, And I don't think like what they do, I don't think they have emotions. They don't have the same feelings, and we are too emotional. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I do think that like for me, like if I gotta drag our people by the head and dunk their head in the water, they'll either drown or they'll drink. You know what I'm saying? One or the other. So like it is what it is, but like something's gotta give at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like we sitting here talking about Ahmaud Arbery. I mean, like we could sit here and name people just going back to 2019, and I ran out of notebooks naming people like literally since 2019. Like, but I do think like it's gonna take that example of somebody standing up and actually doing something. Like, I mean, well, since we on here and they trying to say it's only like one person on here, I'll say it. You know what I'm saying? Like when that cop sitting there choking out George Floyd instead of somebody pulling out the camera, if one person would have walked over there and kicked him in the face, he would have let him go. I'm telling you, but they would have got scared because a bunch of other cops would have came over there, but then a bunch of other black people would have showed up, you know, and then that's the beginning of it right there.
Yep.
Yeah. But
You are absolutely correct. Hey, can I play another video right quick? It ain't
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
last
play
long.
that joint, yeah.
It's about your boy Al Sharpton. Okay, y'all ever seen this movie about this mobster? I can't. Goodfellas about Henry Hill. You know that was supposed to be based on a true story. And if you watch that movie, and he going around and he naming people inside of this bar, whatever they in, he called somebody. He said that's Michael Francese, and that's actually who's talking about this, right? So I want y'all to hear the good old Reverend Al interactions with the Italian mafia. That was under my control. A guy by the name of Danny Cunningham operated that union, but it was under my control. Danny was with me. And we had a plan to unionize the security guards in Atlantic City. First, the restaurant and bartender workers, we were going to unionize them also, but the real serious play was with the security guards under Danny Cunningham. At that time, Nicky Scarfa, he had some influence in Atlantic City. I met up with Nicky. By the way, many of you have asked me about him. I know his reputation, pretty violent. He and I got along well. I like Nicky a lot. We met with him a couple of times and always got along great. So we were going to unionize them, and what we needed people to picket the hotels. So I go to Al. I said, Al, I need your help. You got to round up some of your crew, and we're going to picket the hotels in Atlantic City so that we can get the security guards to unionize there. And I'm going to quote this. I don't want to be offensive, but I'm going to quote what Al Sharpton said to me, and you could take this to the bank. He said to me, Michael, you pay me good, and I'll have a few busloads of use the N word, there day and night picketing that building. That was Al Sharpton. It was a gun for hire. Yes, he used his people at that time to make money. That's what Al was all about back then, okay? I'm not going to comment on what he is today. He says he's transformed his life. In many ways, I see, some of the things that he did back then, he seems to be doing today. I'm going to leave it at that because I'm not involved with him anymore. Another situation with Al. I was a subject of an undercover operation called shadow boxing. The FBI had put an undercover operation together where they were trying to see how organized crime was infiltrating professional boxing. The targets of that investigation were Don King and myself, because they knew that I had some influence in professional boxing. My dad did before me, and a lot of my associates did. We were heavily involved in the game. So they put an undercover operation together where an undercover FBI agent by the name of Victor Guerrero, that's the name that he used, came and approached me. And they had taken a guy out of prison by the name of Reggie Barrett. He was in prison, but he was closely associated with Muhammad Ali. So he knew the boxing game. So these two posed as two people that were wealthy that wanted to get into the boxing business. So they had this undercover operation under me for about 7 or 8 months, on me for 7 or 8 months, where they were actually wiring themselves up, taping themselves up. They posed that they were once
South American drug dealers, but they hadn't been dealing with drugs anymore. But they had several $1 million in a bank account that I was able to verify. The FBI set up a bank account in the Midwest. They put about 15 million in it, or said there was 15 million in it. And I was around these people for about 7 or 8 months. I didn't trust them 100% yet to bring them to Don King. I was trying to feel them out, trying to see where they really were all about, because I can only trace them back so far. Anyway, they were good. They got me fairly comfortable. After about 8 months, what I learned later on, they had about 80 tape recordings on me. But during this whole time, I brought Al Sharpton into this, and I introduced Sharpton to them, and I said, this is going to be the guy who's going to set up the meeting with Don King when I tell him we're ready to do that. So Al Sharpton was the go-between between King and myself. By the way, everything I'm telling you here was highly publicized. I think 48 hours, Brian Gumbel, Real Sports did a whole 15, 20-minute deal on it. It was all over the newspapers. Sports Illustrated did a cover story on it called Shadowboxing. So what I'm telling you now, you can verify. Everything I tell you, you can document at some point. This is all a known fact. So at the appropriate time, I said, Al, okay, I'm comfortable enough to bring these guys to Don King. Let's do it. So Al sets up the meeting with Don King. Don King was associated with some of my mob affiliates over in Cleveland, so he understood the game, the business, so on and so forth. So we go to visit Don King in his offices in Manhattan at the time. Al Sharpton was there. Before I bring Reggie Barrett and Victor into the office with Don, I went and seen Don myself. I said, Al, excuse us for a minute. I want to talk to Don alone. So I said, Don, look, I verified that these guys got $15 million minimum in the bank. They were drug dealers at one time. They claimed they cleaned up their act. I've had them around me for 8 months. I'm fairly comfortable with them, but I cannot trace them any further back than that. So here's what I want you to do. They want to be into the business. They want to invest their money. I know if they're legit, we can use it. We can make some money. But today, I want you to keep everything above board. Don't say anything out of the way. No shady deals. Keep everything straight, 100%. He says to me, I got it, Michael. I bring Victor and Reggie in. We have a meeting. Don is perfect. Explains to them the fight game, the whole bit. Tells them how they get involved, how their investment would be used, the whole bit, right? And we leave. Now, in the interim, okay, because the next point for me was, okay, show me the money. I want you to put it up in a mutual account so that I can show Don that we have it, and we'll take it from there. The FBI was a little bit reluctant about doing that because I don't know if the money really existed or they just made a phony account to verify that it was there. That kind of put a stall on the investigation. But in the interim, Al Sharpton goes up to their offices, Reggie and Victor Guerrero. So remember, Victor Guerrero is an undercover FBI agent. His real name is Victor Quintana, but back then it was Guerrero. And in the meeting, Al Sharpton proposes a drug deal to them. He's got a big cowboy hat on. He's smoking a cigar. And he's
now, do y'all remember seeing that video on on YouTube where Al Sharpton had that big cowboy hat on, and it was making it? They had put the video out, and it seemed like Al Sharpton was snitching on the mafia. No, the FBI actually. So I wonder. See, the FBI actually, they had to be, Al Sharpton actually went and tried to do a drug deal. But this is the man they have put out front as a leader for black folk, man.
Now hold on, Bakari. Hold on, Bakari. How do you know this white man is telling the truth over this black man?
I remember the video. I remember seeing the video. Matter of fact, you can find the video on YouTube now. You can't hear, but you can see Al Sharpton sitting there with the big cowboy hat on. The video he's talking about. I saw that video about 7, 8 years ago. You never heard nobody call Al Sharpton a snitch.
Yeah, I heard it before. But
Yeah,
I'm saying, like, how do you know he was telling the truth when he said, "Oh, I had those N words," blah, whatever he said, the first thing he said.
Oh, I just believe it because Al Sharpton I believe Al Sharpton is just a hustler. He was a preacher. I believe Al Sharpton was I believe Al Sharpton was a hustler, and I believe he did that because he was getting paid. How he always end up everywhere? Somebody telling him something. Somebody telling him something. I'm being honest. I really do.
Yeah, it's a lawyer. No, my
Huh?
no, I was saying there's a lawyer named Lee something. He always everywhere.
Shit, somebody probably got him too. Look how people start to, my son. Look how they start talking about my son. Whatever the rapper name, ex rapper, the mixtapes ain't selling no more. He end up everywhere. Then became the top at one of the people on Black Lives Matter.
Who, my son?
Yeah. You didn't know he was working with them?
No, I didn't know he was one of the top with them.
Yeah. But the point that I'm making is, right? Let's say he's not telling the truth, everything about Al Sharpton. But that video with the cowboy hat, that's why people was calling him a snitch and a rat. That's why people called him that, because of that video that was on YouTube.
Because he snitched on white people? Does white people
No,
call them snitches?
I'm talking about why black people was calling him a snitch.
Oh,
I
okay.
ain't even know what he had supposedly snitched on.
Right,
Then when
right.
I saw the video, I stopped it, but he went in. The guy went on to discuss the video. He said that whoever put it on YouTube made it seem like Al Sharpton was snitching. But he was like, no, that was the FBI actually had recorded Al Sharpton trying to do a drug deal.
Yeah,
He said that was
Uh-huh.
he said that wasn't him snitching. That was him trying to do a drug deal.
Yeah, Blue, you can jump in anytime, you know what I'm saying? But you got something to say, Blue? All right, she might be busy right now. Okay, yeah, she is. But yeah, that's what I'm saying, Bukari. Like, yeah, like like we can't take the word of this white man. Al Sharpton is a brother or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And we can't just believe the word of a white man. You know what I mean?
No, what I'm saying is I believe because I saw that video.
Yeah, I know. I'm just messing with you.
No, I got you. But what I'm saying is I'm telling you why I believe it, because I saw the video.
Yeah.
And he's been put in position now to be a leader. You know what they say? He was like, what does Al Sharpton do to be worth 5, 10, $15 million? What's his job? What do he do? The National Action Network. What do they do?
He been around since like the 80s though, like 70s and stuff though.
I know, but I'm saying, but what does he do though?
He was like on the Donahue show one time.
Yeah, but what does he do?
I mean, I feel like he is trying to help keep the peace in the way that they want. You know what I mean? Because he's not being completely a real dude, based on what he's saying. How can you in the same sentence say, we don't have, it's every white person is not that racist, and then every black person is not, what do you say? What do you call it?
Worthless.
Worthless. Like, come on now. Like, how can you say that shit in the same breath right after another? That you already know he not being in what people they being phased by what he is doing, because there are some, he's speaking out on things, but he's not really fighting for us. He's trying to keep peace, or keep us, in that, keep a hold on us. That's what that really is about. And that's what, like I said, what I feel like that whole Black Lives Matter shit is. Like, we don't need another thing. We need change. We need actual change. So don't get, sidetracked with the little things that's happening, because the same shit is still going on. No matter what they say, this did for this case. That man that they was about to try and execute um he has no business still going, like, excuse me, it really did get me upset, because for me it was about the trauma that he went through up until not knowing if he was gonna die that day. Like, that is traumatizing. That is gonna be so difficult to live with, to know that, for one, it could be embarrassing for him, for the whole world to know, like, hey, I was about to get executed. Nobody wants to get executed. They executing this man, but nobody's looking for the people that did what they did and still doing what they doing. Like that puzzled me, and I'm so happy he didn't get electrocuted, but he got traumatized, and that's just as worst. And they knew what they was doing. They wanted him to be traumatized, and it also traumatized us. Is what we don't realize. It traumatized me, and I don't even know him.
Yeah,
So yeah, to not know up until the day of, like I could see if they called it off long time ago. But period it was upsetting to know
yeah,
they did that.
yeah. That's true. They do that to a lot of people too. Like,
Yeah,
but
and is anybody gonna give him free mental? Like he should have free mental health for the rest of his life, having to go through that.
yeah, and I think we all should, for real, for real. That we
Yeah,
definitely need it,
I agreed.
But
Agreed.
before we wrap it up, Bakari, I want to say this, and then both of y'all can jump in though, because I do. This is the thing I wanted to challenge you on. You was like, I make excuses for black people, and I do. I ain't gonna say excuses though. I'm gonna say reasons why black people act like this. You know what I'm saying? Like we was talking about the coon thing the other day, right? Like now we would agree that Jesse Lee Peterson would be considered that, right? Now what if Jesse Lee Peterson was taking that money he was getting from those white people and funding some black militia or something? With how like the coon thing is a slippery slope, don't you think?
Then I would be absolutely surprised, in my stance on Jesse Lee Peterson would change somewhat. It would change. It would have to if I found out that what he was doing. But he actually is doing some good stuff. If you look up and see some of the organizations that he started and what he had been doing for young black people
Hmm.
in the city, he was. I give him that.
Like
But he was
before?
still, yeah, like supposedly now. I know it was a few years back. Yep.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like the whole thing, like, don't you think you'd be a little bit too hard on the coons?
On some of them,
I feel
because
you.
the thing about it is like, because what he say, I'm hard on him because like him, what he say, right? It affects the young mind, right?
Mhm.
That's why I go in because it's not. A lot of time it ain't even just about them. It's about who they're reaching because those people can get a bigger platform. Like Al Sharpton, they can get a bigger platform, right? Look at
Mhm.
that stuff Al Sharpton was just doing. Look how many black people. Yeah, he sure right. We just got to pray. That dude is a hero. Al Sharpton has said it. They got him on CNN. They got him on MSNBC. They got him on Fox. He everywhere.
Yeah, that's true. But don't you
It-
think he like sick though?
who Al Sharpton?
Yeah, like he got like black syndrome.
Hell no. I think Al Sharpton is a hustler. I
Yeah,
think Al
but
Sharpton is a hustler.
hmm no, but I'm saying, don't you think like if you be willing to sell your people out for money for a check, like the hustler stuff is a little bit deeper than just being a hustler. Like don't you think it's like some kind of like self-hatred thing going on?
Mm, could be. The way he was up there bragging on what, yeah, it could be. But what you doing forecast right now is you talking to the one side of God. I'm talking to the two side of God. Gosh, I'm seeing both sides. You talking to the one side of God. I'm talking. See, he put you there. He put me here. He put you there.
Yeah, that's true. My God has one side. Is on my side. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I'm
But
talking
I'm
to the
saying,
two
like,
side
we
of God.
can't keep saying, like, yo, we gotta get rid of the coons, like, because we gotta go at the system first. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
And
see,
Blue, you
this is
can
the
jump
thing.
in too anytime. Go ahead, Bakari.
I got a friend that always tell me we got to learn how to use the coon. The coon can be usable.
Right.
The coon can be usable.
I think it could be cured too, though.
The Al Sharptons, the Jesse Lee Petersons, but not Al Sharpton, but maybe Jesse Lee Peterson. But I don't think you can use Al Sharpton because Al Sharpton too busy hustling. While you think you using him, he using you. He trying to use you to get what you got.
True. And when you said we don't need them, I feel like just like they needed us, to do everything that we did and go through what went through, so that way they could be wealthier. Um, I feel like they have a purpose too. Maybe we can't put our finger on it because I don't know what to call it, but they definitely have a purpose.
Who have a purpose?
White people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, not to say we need them, but they just like we played a role in them becoming successful. Um, they're gonna play a role for us as well.
Yeah, you use them too. I agree with
Yeah.
that. Like I'm gonna
hmm
use me for an example now, right? I'm gonna use me for an example. Once again, talking about my job, but I took a job to learn how to drive a manual. Couldn't get a job. This white dude gave me a job and gave me them keys and just said, "Just go," even though I ain't know what the hell I was doing. Cause I'm trying to get some dump trucks, right? I'm gonna get some, but I needed to know how to drive a manual first, cause the automatics just too damn expensive right now. But I'm using him for what I need. At the same time, right now, I'm employed at his company, so he's using me to continue to get rich, right? I'm using him to build. See, I got a plan. I have a plan. I got like another month there, maybe two at the most, and I'm done. He has used me, and I've used him. I've used him to learn to drive a manual, and I've used him to learn more about the business, learn how much to, because he tell me how much to pay, learn how much to charge, what to do, and how to do it, and when to do it. So yes, they are usable. That's what we have to do. We have to use them. We have been used. Blue, you're absolutely correct. They used us to build them a great country. We built on the back of our ancestors as slaves. A great country was built for them. A great country was built for them economically. And now they use it for them still. So now we have to use them. So I agree, Blue. We got to use them. We got to use the coon. Everything, anything that's usable, anything that's useful,
Oh yeah, yeah.
we
Yeah,
got to
but
use it. We
but
got to use it.
I think the coon could be saved though.
Well, there's gonna be a
Wait.
lot of hard work if you're trying to deal with a grown man like Jesse Lee Peterson like that. You just gonna use him.
Nah, I don't mean per individual. I mean the whole coon problem though.
Oh my gosh.
Once we build ourselves up, yes, the coon can be saved in.
Oh, you got something to say, Blue?
No, I was about to say I didn't hear you because
Oh,
something's echoing. I think maybe you got something playing um with something,
yeah, I
but
don't know.
Oh, get sleep in.
Yeah,
no,
yeah, that
no
you know.
yawning. We late night tonight.
Yeah, I
Ain't
know.
ain't everybody off
Yeah, I can't keep up
tomorrow?
with y'all youngsters.
No, you do get up really early, and your body probably already adapted to that.
Yes. Like
Yeah,
I'll be
hmm
waking up as soon as I go to sleep. I'm gonna wake up too. I turn my alarm off, but I'm still gonna wake up.
hmm
yeah. Well, my trolling ain't really work on you, Bukari. So
Ah,
but yeah, you did good though. I appreciate y'all for coming on. But I
but
still think the coon could be saved. So
oh,
They
okay, I see
can.
what you're saying.
Mm.
It's yeah, it's gonna be something just like us growing. It may take a couple generations till we completely there, but that's how I feel like it would happen with them. I don't feel like if a person got to have a certain morals to be able to be quote unquote saved, because if you got somebody that's willing to be backstabbing to their own group, just to succeed before them, or whatever it is, to be backstabbing, uh, that's almost like, to me, a racist person. I feel like a racist person is going to always be racist, especially if it was instilled in them. They could have respect and be respectful when they're around blacks, but they're not going to do nothing to help them, at the end of the day. Just like white boy Matt, like, he's not going to encourage his friends to, like, he's not going to go that far. You know, he may be able to sit here and talk with us and be respectful in public and stuff, but that's as far as it's gonna go. You know, um,
Right.
right?
Yeah, I mean that's true. Like they're not gonna help us. But what I'm saying is like, I'm not saying like you can go up to like that dude Sheriff David Clark and be like, look, you're black, man. You should respect your blackness. And you can be like, oh man, you're right. But you can get like his children and then like teach them like, okay, you're
That's
like,
what I said. It's gonna
yeah,
be
I
like
know, yeah,
generational. It's not gonna
exactly.
happen with that actual person because if they can do something like that, it's a lot of other things that they could do and can't be trusted at that point. You know what I
Right.
mean? They don't have no morals, the right morals that we would have, for example, because we know we would never do that. You know what I mean? Like I know I would never do that. So
Yeah.
to know that somebody that is willing to do that, I look at them completely different. You know what I mean? Because they got that bone in their body. you
Yeah.
know. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, but what the harder they fall. So that movie that Jay Z what he produced, um, it was a nice little part in there. If nobody hasn't seen it yet, I would suggest seeing it. I love how, and it's more to just the picture. You got to notice how he took, the whole Western look and theme and completely uh, had nothing but black people in there. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe it was a couple light skinned people in there, but it was predominantly all black movie. And that type of setting and scenery about a movie, Western, cowboyish, gun draw, that's that's mainly and mostly been a white person type movie.
Yeah.
So, and it's authentic. I loved it, but there was a part in there when I don't want to tell the movie. I don't be a movie spoiler, but one of the guys, one of the people in the crowd, has said something, and then dude with the gun, walked out and said, "What's your name?" And he was like, "You are an enemy in the making." It was what he said. He had said some words to try to encourage people to not go, agree with him. And I'm talking about it was the whole town. You know what I mean? So he was trying to cause confusion and distraction. And he said, "You're an enemy in the making," and shot him straight up in his head. You know what I mean? Right then and there.
Yeah, that
And
was a good movie.
yeah, it was pretty good.
You know the one problem I had with it though?
What?
Stagecoach Mary. They had like the mulatto woman playing her.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
Stagecoach Mary was a big dog skin lady.
Amazing. Wow. See, I don't know the true story of Stagecoach
Yeah,
Mary.
you can look at she was a big dog skin lady.
Yeah.
Wow. Why they do that?
Hmm.
Yeah, they always do that.
But you know what though? Or a reason why I could possibly think that is because I feel like that the two star characters they resembled Jay Z and Beyonce, and I kind of feel like that's what they were more so going off of, a love story, kind of like in based on some things maybe they would have done for each other, but that's what the look was. Dude looked like. You see what I'm saying, Bakar? You seen it, right? You see
Yeah,
how
yeah,
dude
yeah,
kind of had
yeah,
some
yeah,
facial
yeah, yeah. I
features.
see it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
that's
get
what
what
came
you're
to my
saying.
mind.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
get what you're saying. But
Hmm.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
She
Without
was a
knowing
big.
who
But you
Stagecoach
know what?
Mary really
But she
is.
did own. If you read her story, she
Hmm.
did. She was the baddest stagecoach, male delivery, whatever they did to stagecoach. How she
No.
fought people off. She did carry a shotgun. That shotgun she had. They
Hmm.
got images. They got pictures of her with the shotgun and stuff.
Wow.
And she had done so much. She did own like a couple of the bars, I guess, whatever they were called back then, saloons. Yeah, she
Right.
did that for real. But she was a big dark skinned lady.
Wow. Yeah, I wish they would have did that, but I feel like the only reason, because like I said, I didn't know how she looked, so that's what came to my head first, without knowing how she looked. So that's what I was just thinking. Outside of
Yeah.
that,
Yeah, but yeah, I'ma go around and I'ma let y'all close out. But like first, yeah, all I was saying was like, people we as a people like always be like, yeah, we gotta get the coon first, we gotta eliminate the coon before we can worry about the
uh-uh.
enemy. And I say
We
that
could
we need
barely get us together.
right. And that's what I'm saying. Like I think we need to worry about, getting on the code and then destroying our enemy, then the whole coon element won't even be there in the first place, So, that's just all I was saying with that whole thing anyway. But I'm gonna let y'all close out. It don't matter whichever one of y'all want to go first. It's on y'all.
All right. You know what? A way to get, it's not money working for black people, right? If there was a little more money and we had something to offer, if we do have something to offer, but we don't use it to our advantage, we don't use, because we don't pay us for work, right? That's one way to stop some of that coon element. If we start looking out for people that actually come out here and put in work for us, that's just the truth. But we don't see it like that. We almost don't see a need to give a black person for working for black person. We want black people to do it for free. And as long as that's the case, and people still want to buy a house, still have bills to pay, still need to buy food, still need to do all of that, right? There's going to be a coon. So that's my take on it. I'm Brother Bakari. So everybody listening, because I know YouTube lying about how many people watching. So y'all check out my channel. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you don't subscribe, that's okay. If I said something you like, just come through and holler at me sometime whenever I do a show. That'll be cool too. Forecast, I thank you. Blue, it's good to share the panel with you again. I'm glad to know that your mom is doing well. And till next time, peace and one love.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Thanks, Bakari. I appreciate you coming on. I ain't mean for it to go this late, but thanks for staying on, my brother. Blue.
Yeah, I mean, you already, like you said, if it go on, it go on. You on time, you can't time it. So it is what it is, and I thank y'all for continuing to motivate me because I love to hear when y'all come on, honestly. So thanks for pushing through, because it's not. Um, I'm not gonna say it's tough, but you're putting efforts in outside of your life, your day, to show concern and care about, you know, somebody else, that you don't even know. So I hope everyone kind of looks at it in that manner because that's really what it is, wanting to see, you do better. And as far as like a coon is concerned, I already, gave the spill on how I feel about that. I, agree with Bakari for the most part. But then, you kind of, the second part to that is knowing that, it's not going to change with that person, but, somewhere down the line, it will, if around the right people. Like that is definitely true and possible. That's how changes happen, over time. And I just want to touch a little bit on um, the whole holiday season um, facade. Is I don't have kids yet, and I've been thinking in this way for the longest. I like to learn. I love to learn. One of my goals is to learn something new every day, even if it's something simple. You know what I mean? Because I like to know what I'm talking about. If I'm having a conversation, I like to be knowledgeable about something about it. If it's not something I'm passionate about, then I'm going to at least know something about it. Thoughts that come to your mind, or if you don't know something, like just look it up. Just try to do a little research and find out. So then you know that into that conversation. You know, don't be scared to um, build yourself because the investing in yourself, taking the time out to educate yourself. You can make every change that you need. It's all about you. And you have to take the time to invest in yourself by showing love and care to yourself and respect to yourself. Um, overall, to respect yourself, and take care of yourself. because again, the mental thing, that's number one, getting your mind right. So we got to start making healthy choices, not just eating wise, but just healthy choices, period. So pointing out about the holidays, for example, I don't think I mentioned this on one of the lives before, but I want to bring it up again since it is holiday season. And in case somebody missed it, for example, like you make holidays whatever you want it to be. It's your life. It's your life. You create what you want in your life. You don't have to go about the way the rest of everybody else is. It's only a way for people to have something in common and relate to each other, and just something to do. You know, why can't your Christmas be you know your kids? Um, you make a rule where your kids have to do their chores, whether it's once a week throughout the whole year, you know, um, or they have to, and you want to make those type of things. You want to make, I would say more so. I was about to say read, but I feel like when we tell our child to read, it shouldn't be in a form of a punishment. You know what I mean? I find that a lot of the time you want to put joy around things that might be a little frustrating for someone or maybe boring. You can make it something that they enjoy and love to do, you know. Um, but you don't want them to become another robot that we, have that's confused and gone every which way but the right way. You instill what they need. Um, Take a parenting class if you need to. Just try to get your mind on the right track. If you want to be able to do better for yourself and for your kids, your family, invest in yourself. You know. Um, but yeah, don't get too tied up into the holiday part of things. Buying until you broke type of deal. If there's no uh, reason to reward, then you got to kind of teach your child that lesson. You know. Um, That's something I learned early on, needs versus wants. Um, so I've always been really good with not allowing things to, tempt me on, oh, I want it because that person wants it. No. Or I want to get that because it's the most popular thing. You got to know what's important to you and what's popular to you, because that's what matters. Um, but I just think we should start treating these type of things a little bit differently. Like I said, Christmas, if that's something you want to celebrate as a holiday, you make it whatever it is about in your household. You don't have to do what everybody else is doing. And know, what you all need versus what you want. Um, and I also wanted to point out, outside of the holidays, damn, um, outside the holidays, and just really trying to stay grounded, because we going into a whole nother year. And like you was pointing out earlier, people are dying and people are losing their jobs. The vaccine is here to stay. All the jobs, or most jobs, they want you to be vaccinated in order to be hired. You know, a great thing that currently uh, you don't have to have your vaccine if you want to be able to work from home. So if anyone is looking to work from home, currently you can make your own schedule. So I really think that's the best thing about it. You do not have to be vaccinated at this point. I don't know if that would change, but again, you would always actually be working from home unless you decided to like go directly for the company and you wanted to apply for an in-store location. So that's going to be a great opportunity for anyone on the fence about getting it. Definitely reach out to me at 804-250-1049, and I can get you in the right direction and get you the information you need. Um, don't be scared of failure because that's how we learn. That's how we grow. Um, you have to be willing to try something. You know, if you believe in anybody around you, who you believe in the most, yourself or everybody else around you? You believe in yourself because you know yourself. So take the time to invest in yourself and try something different. And if you fail, you're gonna learn something, and something else is gonna pop up along the way. You know, it's an amazing journey if you just kind of just listen to those thoughts that come to you and stop questioning them and doubting yourself. Just try. Um, and yeah, stay on top of the kids. I guess I'm gonna cut it for now. I know I'm dragging it out, but I feel like we got a lot of work to do, or I got a lot of catching up to do. Put it like that. Thank you for pointing out to send love or prayers for my mom. I really appreciate that. Those are the type of things we should be doing for each other. Um, it's it feels good to you know hear concern from someone else. So thank y'all or anyone listening that also said anything. I really appreciate it. Uh, Happy Thanksgiving to all that celebrate. Hopefully everyone is with family and having a good day for the rest of the year, uh, rest of your life, honestly. But I'm just saying peace for now. Good night, y'all.
All right, thank you, Blue. And I know Bakari probably want to get at you about somebody else that probably need a job. So
Okay, sweet.
yeah, he probably hit you up. But yo, I appreciate y'all for coming on here, Bakari and Blue, and all the information that we put out all the time. And like I said, like time is short. Like you never know what's gonna happen tomorrow, what's gonna happen next. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta shout out my homegirl. She was only in her 30s, and stuff just happens, you know what I'm saying? The life that we live, the decisions that we make catch up with us. And we gotta be prepared. Like especially if you got children, you gotta like sometimes people don't even have enough money to bury themselves, but we so caught up in the fast life and the making the crazy decisions and stuff like that. But all that stuff always come back home. And she always been like a rider, like down or whatever, always been there for me. So like, I definitely gotta shout her out and show her much respect. It's been a crazy month. It's been a crazy year, like crazy 2 years. And it's only probably gonna get worse, like everybody is here is saying. And that time to prepare is almost over. That's why the title, "How much time is left?" The answer is like negative 100 years. So we all the way like we about 400 years behind schedule already. And you seeing the people around you like going away, dying, all that stuff is real, right? And if you build it, they will come. You got to be able to feed the people. You got to be able to give the people something they can hold on to, because that's all people really want, and they will follow you. You know what I'm saying? That's why you hear people complaining, but they can't stop complaining. Why they can't stop talking about black issues, even though they supposedly hate black people, like some people that was mentioned on like the other panels we was on. But you know all that stuff come with time. But all these people is passing away way too young. The health in our communities is terrible. We need more education of what our bodies need. And like Blue was saying about the vaccine, is nothing is wrong with going to the doctor to make sure everything is all right before you get it. You know what I'm saying? Nothing is wrong with going to the doctor anyway. Because like believe me, like those other groups of people, if they stump their toe, they're going to the hospital. If they get a hangnail, they're going to the hospital to make sure they all right. But we will have like our arm hanging off our body, you know what I'm saying, a fever of 106. You know what I'm saying? You're like, oh well, I'll just take some Tylenol and lay down and I'll be all right. And then we wonder why we have so much terrible health, why our parents die so young, why our friends, our family, all of that stuff. But I appreciate you for staying on here, Bakari. I appreciate Blue for coming on here. I know it's mad late, and I don't even want to say it, but I guess like Blue said, enjoy your day tomorrow. That's the best way I could put it. So, you know, unless Bakari got something to say. You got something to say, Bakari?
I'm good, man. Peace out. I'm out.
All right. As always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we're gonna keep falling for anything.